Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about why I've been gone from YouTube for so many years. Really 1 to 2 years, but we're going to get right into this video. Make sure you follow me on all social media. Be linked down below. I am _ Camille Monique, and I have no Twitter, but I do have Instagram and TikTok. So tell a friend to tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe, and yes, let's get into the video. I moved back to Florida back in April 2020. So long story short, I moved to Dallas, Texas back in 2017. Asked me why. I was in love, of course. I was in love. I moved for a boy that I've known for since I was 17. Not know any regular degular. Like, I actually moved for a guy that I've known for a long time. So when I moved to Texas, anyone that's moved from Florida to Texas, you know there is a whole life change. It was so different for me. Like, I'm so used to the Dominicans, the Caribbeans, like I'm so used to the Haitians, the Venezuelans, Puerto Ricans, Trinis, Guyanese, things like that. Moving from Florida to Dallas, Texas was such a life change for me. It was like I could not adjust to that lifestyle because I'm not used to seeing people of other races, and if that makes sense, I'm so used to seeing the Caribbean side of things. I saw more of like Africans, Indians, a lot of Africans, a lot of Ethiopians, a lot of Africans in general live in Texas, especially Dallas. Yeah, and a lot of Mexicans. Love my Mexican people out there, but you guys are everywhere in Texas, everywhere. You guys have amazing food though, don't get me wrong. But it was just a life change for me, and then the weather was different. Like, I'm used to humid, sticky, wet Florida heat, and then I go to Texas. Child, when I say I was parched, like I was parched, like it was like so dry. I'm like, oh my God, you guys were having 100-degree weather, 103-degree weather. You guys have tornadoes. Come on, you guys have tornadoes.
Okay.
I was not feeling Texas. At first, I was not feeling it. But anyway, I moved there for a guy. For the first good year and a half, it took me to adjust to it. Don't get me wrong. Right now, I love Texas. I would move back in a heartbeat. But I'll get into why I moved back to Florida in a few seconds. But Texas is really amazing. So don't take my first initial reaction as a bad one. It took me time to get used to it. So I actually love Texas. I met some beautiful people back in hair school, back in Texas. Till this day, still, some of us still really talk. Like, we're like close. Like, we check up on each other here and there. But yeah, I love Texas. And the prices for rent, the prices for anything is amazing. It's like you get a bang for your buck in Texas. Yeah, I'll definitely, if I had family there, I would definitely move back. Or buy property there. Like, for sure I'll buy property, for sure, eventually. But yeah, let's get into this whole moving back thing. So I moved to Texas, was there for 3 years, went to hair school, was doing my thing, independent woman, everything. I was engaged, broke off the engagement. That might be another video on why I broke off my engagement if I decide to disclose it, but I might not, we'll see. But I was engaged. Obviously I broke off my engagement, and then within a year I moved out. Okay, I moved out of his parents' house and with him. But yeah, I moved into my own place, my first place at that, in a new city, in a new state. Like, come on girl, like, you got things going. I was so like independent. I was in a new city, I was experiencing new people, new things. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this all by myself, you know what I'm saying? And then boom, went to Veda Hair Institute. I don't have anything bad to say about Veda. Veda is a great school, teaches you a lot, but I'm a self-taught hairstylist. So all the things I learned in school, I knew prior. I really went to hair school more for my license, because for you to work in a salon or any kind of institute, you need a license. So I could have went to a regular hair school, $5,000 a year, call it a day, but I ended up spending like $20,000 to $22,000 on a Veda. It's like Harvard combined to Broward College, like a Veda and like Sheridan, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, what are you gonna do? Like, you know, I decided to go to Veda. My best friend, she actually went to Paul Mitchell. She's a hairstylist in Brookhaven, Brookhaven, Georgia. She's a great hairstylist. Check her out. Her name's Lene. She's the one who encouraged me to go to hair school. So I went to hair school. Don't regret it, but wish I took a different route. I have a lot of coins to pay back though, but it's whatever. So during that time, guys, like, oh my god, it was so much to do. Like, I was in hair school, I believe my schedule was Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, because I took the accelerated course so I could get it done quicker. So I did Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday. I remember either going to school either 8 or 9 a.m. in the morning and leaving 8 or 9 p.m. at night. So what time do you have to go get a real job? Like, I couldn't work a real job, so I had to go do Uber. So I did Uber. I was terrified because I'm a single female in a new city by myself, but it paid really good and it worked well with my schedule. I really want like to do a part-time or full-time job, but no one would hire me because by the time I got off of work, they want me to start work at 5 or 6 p.m. and it wasn't possible, so I had to go to Lyft and Uber. And I don't judge anyone that does it now because it's a really good job. It's really flexible, but you have to be really careful because people are crazy nowadays. And I wouldn't go back to it because now I'm an entrepreneur. I work for myself for over 6 to 7 years now. I don't even know how it feels to get tax returns. I don't know how it feels to pay tax. Like, no, I pay taxes, but I don't know how it feels to get a W-2. I don't know how it feels to get money anymore. I'm always giving money back, you know what I'm saying? So, but I would not trade being an entrepreneur. I love being an entrepreneur because I make my own schedule. I don't have to answer to nobody, okay? I get up for work when it's necessary. When my books are booked, I'm booked. I just love it. I love the whole everything, but it has its cons. It has its cons. So we'll do that in another video on why I chose to be an entrepreneur. But yeah, so basically with that being said, you know, I was in hair school and it was 2019 November. I'll never forget it. Yeah, I went down to Florida for Thanksgiving for my family. And my mom, they kept on telling me over the phone, we need to tell you something, we need to tell you something, but we'll wait for you. We will wait for you to come down on your Thanksgiving vacation. So I'm like, okay, fine. You know, I'm not thinking anything twice about like, okay, you know, what you guys gotta tell me, whatever. Basically, I had 1 more month, maybe a month and a half max left of school. I came down here in November 2019 at my sister's house. We had Thanksgiving dinner and whatever. My mom looked very fragile. She looked very slim, very skinny, not like normal. So I'm like, I'm just thinking I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together, like, okay, she's sick, you know what I'm saying? Because you never want to think of your parents as being sick. Like, you never want to think of them being sick or hurt. You're just thinking, like, maybe she didn't eat, or maybe she's not, I don't know, whatever, she's diabetic, so I didn't think anything twice. But basically, she sat me down. She was very weak and just sad and whatever. So I'm just like, Mom, hello, what's going on? Like, what do you have to tell me? And it took her, no lie, took about 5-10 minutes to actually, she was just being around the bush, telling me other things. And so I didn't want to be rude and rush her, so I was letting her speak. But eventually she told me, and I broke down crying. She told me how she had breast cancer stage 1. But any kind of cancer, whether it's stage 1, 2, 3, or 4, is like most children are going to jump up and stop what they're doing. Most of them will stop what they're doing and get up and go. And that's what my first reaction was. When she told me that, I did 11 months of hair school to the point where I didn't care about graduating. I was like, no, I need to come back home. I need to come back home. She's like, no, finish school. My lease was up April 2020. She's like, finish school, Camille, it's okay, finish school. And if anyone knows, breast cancer is a very forgiving cancer. Thank God that we caught it early. But my mind was so all over the place, and I was emotional and crying and sad. And I went back home on that plane ride so distraught. And so I'm thinking of ways to do my last month of hair school. I'm thinking of ways of like, okay, well, how am I gonna get back to Florida? Like, I can't stay here for 1 more month. And that's another reason why I took time off from YouTube, because I had so much going on in my personal life with school, work, breaking off my engagement, then finding my mom had stage 1 breast cancer. It was a lot for one individual to take on. On top of that, doing YouTube is time consuming. You have to record, you have to edit, you have to post. It's not a 1, 2, 3. It's like, it takes a while. So in the beginning of YouTube, I was actually consistent, 2017, 2018, and I just this cold turkey to stop doing YouTube for a whole entire year. It was so much work for me, so I just stopped. And so back to December 2019, basically I was trying to transfer my credits to an Nevada down in South Florida, but it was so hard and it was so last minute, so I just ended up staying and graduating. My mom couldn't come because she was sick, and the doctor advised her not to fly a plane, so she couldn't fly a plane. So my cousin Faye actually came down and supported me, and my best friend as well, Lene, came down. So I had support. It was a good thing, and I felt really loved, and I was happy I graduated. Yeah! And so I was supposed to go to Houston, Texas. My birthday's in February. I'm a Pisces. So best of them all. They're the best ones ever. But yeah, so my mom told me she was getting better. She was getting better. I'm like, okay, good. You know, I'm at ease because I'm a stressor. I'm a stressor. I'm the youngest out of 6 kids. So like, I'm like the baby basically. So I stress about everything, whether it's work, school, family, friends. I need to learn how to control my stress because it's like, it could kill you. Like, I don't want to kill myself. So, so anyway, after school, I was, you know, plotting like, okay, I'm going to go to Houston, Texas in February with my homegirls, Linda and Mona. Hi, girls. Yeah, so we were supposed to go to Houston, Texas. Actually, no, end of February. I think more March because my birthday's the end of February. The 23rd of February, actually. And we were supposed to go. And no one thought that COVID would hit. Who would think COVID was gonna hit? What's COVID? Like, who's gonna think we're gonna have COVID? So I'm thinking, okay, you know, pay for my tickets. We're gonna have a fun time in Houston. Never been to Houston, still to this day, have never been. So I actually do wanna check that out. But yeah, so February hit, then boom, March hit, boom, COVID hit, boom, everything just went. I'm just like, what is going on? Cancers, this, COVID, this, school. I'm like, what is, I had no break. I had like, my head was like, what's going on? I'm like, oh my God, it was too much for me to handle. And I'm still upset about that. But yeah, we ended up not being able to go. Everything closed down, everything shut down. People had to wear masks. Even my ex-fiance, we're still really, really good friends. Like, we don't hate each other. We're really, really good friends. And you know, to this day, we're really, really good friends. So I have nothing bad to say about him, but that's in another video. But I was so scared to leave the house. So he was so sweet enough to go get my groceries, any kind of products I needed, because he still had a job. Unfortunately for us, as hairstylists, we weren't able to open salons, work in salons, or do anything. So I had to stay in the house. But I just got out of school as well. So it didn't really matter. I didn't look for a job as of yet. I just got my hair business about a year ago. I just got my hair business. So back then, I didn't even have a salon to work in. But anyway, he actually went to supermarkets and got me like Lysols and sprays. I was so terrified to even I didn't step out my house. I didn't physically step out of my house for 2 weeks straight. I did not. I could not. I was too terrified. So he would be nice enough to go buy me stuff, and I told him to leave it by my front door, and I'll wait for him to leave, and I'll take it in and I'll spray everything down. That's how I did for almost 2 weeks. I was just terrified. And also the reason why I was very strict with that was because my mom was sick, and I knew I wanted to move back home, but I didn't know when. I really was gonna stay in Texas for 1 more year, but that was cut short because of COVID. But yeah, for 2 weeks I was at home working out, I was doing work at home. Your girl lost 25 pounds in 2 weeks because all I did was eat, sleep, workout. Eat, sleep, workout for 2 weeks straight. Anyway, so eventually I made my decision. I said, you know what? I'm not going to be in Texas by myself during this COVID. So I gave him my 6-day notice to my apartment. My first apartment, I actually loved them, but I definitely upgraded. Okay, I definitely upgraded. But I gave them my 6-day notice, which ended in April, but I ended up leaving like a week earlier. And so if I still had the clips or the videos, I never did a road trip by myself ever in life. I never did even extended amount. Like it was, I think it was between 20 to 22 hours. Oh my God, girl. No, like it's an accomplishment. I could say I did it on my own. My dad actually helped me financially. Like he gave me money for gas and etc. But besides that, the physical, everything, I'm so used to doing things on my own that it's hard for me to ask for help because I don't have time for people to say, oh, I'll do it for you, but give me like a week or da-da-da. Like if I'm asking for help, it's usually like within that time frame. So I just end up doing my whole thing by myself. Okay, your girl's really independent. Okay, so I end up packing my whole apartment myself. I have a little dog, his name is Dallas. I brought him with me, of course. I packed my whole apartment. I sold half my apartment. I sold my bed, my couches, my mirrors, anything extremely big I sold. I had two flat screen TV, smart ones. I sold one but brought one down with me to Florida. I think I still have the pictures. If I do, I'll link it right here. My car was packed to the ceiling, and my car was packed because I have a car where I can have the side mirrors so I can see behind me, the reverse, and I can see to the side. I could not see out my window, so I had to use the side mirror, the side view camera the whole time of me driving. It was a mess. I thought I was gonna get stopped. I was so paranoid because I'm thinking martial law is gonna hit us, like where we have to stay indoors all day. You can't leave the States, which you weren't supposed to, but your girl still did because I need to get home to my mother. Like, she's important. She's more important than all of us. Like, I need to get home. So anyway, sorry. I just got distracted with someone out the window. But yeah, I was telling myself, I need to get home. I need to get home. I don't care how it is, but I need to get home. I knew I didn't want to fly because I had so much stuff. I don't want to have to buy a U-Haul and I didn't want all that. So I just ended up losing out on a lot of furniture. And then I didn't tell my mom either. I actually told her when I reached Orlando, which is only 3 to 5 hours away from where I am now. It was a surprise for her. Really why I didn't tell my mom I moved back to Florida at that moment was because I didn't want to stress her out. Because she's a stressor. She had me at 49 years old, so she was an older mom, so she stressed very easily. I guess that's where I get it from. But if your last child is driving all this way during a pandemic, like, you're gonna stress the hell out. You're gonna stress out. So she was scared for me. So she would have been scared if I told her. So I didn't tell her. I told my dad. My dad's a real G. Like, he's a real one. Like, he's like, Camille, do not stop in Alabama. Do not stop. I think he said Tennessee or Mississippi or somewhere. He said, do not stop in these 2 places. Other than that, you could stop, go get food, go get gas, bathroom break, whatever you need to do, but do not stop in those 2 places. And I took his word for it. I was not joking. I don't care how sleepy, how sleepy I was at the wheel. Like, I don't care. I'm going through these states like he told me to, and I'm out. But my friend my friend Linda, her niece, actually let me stay in her place at the time in, like, I think it was Jacksonville or Tallahassee, Florida. Thank you, girl, so much, because without her, I would have had to get a hotel with my scary ass who didn't want to touch anything anyway. I was terrified, but she let me stay with her for overnight to get my rest and get some beauty sleep, whatever. But yeah, I drove all through those states. Your girl drove through New Orleans, Louisiana, I drove through Tennessee, I drove through Alabama, I drove through all from Pensacola, Florida, all the way to South Florida by myself, okay? If I could do it, you could do it. But anyway, so I drove that by myself. I was on the phone chit-chatting the whole time, laughing, watching videos. Like, I was chilling. It was tired. It was very tiring though. But would I do it again? I would with someone else. I would not do it by myself. But it was fun though. But anyway, I got back, and so when I reached Pensacola, Florida, which is the tip, I might put it right here, the tip of Florida, they had literally nurses, army people, cop cars to cross the border to Florida. I was like, oh my God. Like, I'm thinking they're gonna send me. I drove literally 18 hours for them to feel like, I felt like they're gonna turn me around. I was like, just imagine the thought process that was going through my head when I was like, because they told you not to leave the States. You can stay in your state, but you can't leave the state. I moved all the way from Dallas, Texas to Florida. Look how many states I passed. So my ass lied, okay? They asked me questions. Have you been in, I think it was Louisiana, I think Alabama, some other state. And I checked everything off. No, 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 no. I literally basically lied and said I was coming from Pensacola. I basically lied and said I was coming from Pensacola because I was not getting stuck in this. I was not going back to Texas because my lease was up. I paid my last deposit. I packed it. I was not being sent back to no Texas. So I lied. And I don't like to lie, but I lied. I had to lie. Like, I was terrified. Like, what are you gonna do if you see cop cars and marshal people? And what would you do? Link down below. What would you do if you was in that situation? Would you tell them the truth so they could turn your ass back around to go back home? You know you would. You know you would not tell them that. Okay. So anyway, so I moved back. Not moved back. So I drove down. I stopped to get some food, a little break, whatever. Drove down. And it was early in the morning, so I think it was about 3 a.m. So by the time I reached Orlando, it was probably around like 7. And there was a light out. I saw palm trees. I saw my hometown, my everything. I was so excited to be back home because I haven't been back in 3 years prior. So I was like, okay, I'm back. I'm back in Florida. This is born and raised in Florida. So I decided to call my mom when I reached Orlando area, and she's thinking I'm home in Dallas, Texas, and she's like, oh, what you doing? Da, da, da. Hope you're staying safe. Lysol. She always used to say, you better Lysol, you can't get sick, you can't get sick. And I'm like, Mom, guess what? And she's like, what? And I'm like, I'm in Orlando. And she's like, you're lying. And I'm like, no, I'm here. And she's like, what? You're lying? Oh my God, I can't believe you drove all by yourself. I'm like, yes, Mom, you have a daughter for a G. Like, your daughter's a G, a real G. I was like, I drove here, Mom. She's like, no, you sure? I'm like, Mom, I had to send her a picture to believe me. She would not believe me. So I sent her a picture of the Orlando sign. Every city I went to, I took a picture of the city. I think I have one of Mississippi. I think I have one of Louisiana, one of Florida, like Pensacola. But it just showed like the progress I made. And I was taking those pictures really for myself and really for my dad, because he wanted to make sure I was okay in every step. So he kept his mouth shut. He didn't tell my mom anything. So when I told her, she could hear the excitement out of her voice. Like, she was so excited. And that really just made me so happy, because, you know, I was gone for 3 years. And so I finally reached there. Then she found out I had a dog. You know Jamaicans don't like pets. Okay, anyone that's a Caribbean, you know your parents do not like pets. But come on, guys, come here. How can you guys resist this? How? My baby, he's so tiny. Like, she was not having it. She's like, this dog needs to stay outside. I'm like, right? Like, no, Mom. I'm like, Mom, look how small. He's like nothing. Like, he's really, like you can't put this outside because he's gonna get eaten by a fox, okay? You cannot put this outside. So she's like, me not care, you need us to put him outside. I don't do dogs. I'm like, Mom, please. I was gonna say, I mean, please, I just drove all this way from Texas, can you just please keep it? I just can't deal with it. And she eventually like, okay, you can keep him inside but in a cage, right? Tell me how the cage ended up being into my bedroom and end up with them sleeping together on the couch. Jamaicans be playing, they be playing. You know you love my dog cute. So they eventually like had such a bond. There was such a bond. Like, they loved each other. I would come home from cause I was doing odd jobs. Like, I was doing I was actually, and this is the time I didn't even do no YouTube. I wasn't even back on YouTube. I was so focused on selling back into Florida, looking for work in salons, getting my license transferred from Texas to Florida, catching up with old friends I haven't seen in so long, catching up with family that didn't even know I moved back home, getting my mom settled in, of me moving back. Like, it was, YouTube was not my priority. So I was back in April 2020, and so technically I was off maybe a year and a few months of YouTube. Like, I was off for a long time, but you see why. I'm telling you why I've been off for so long. But yeah, so I was doing odd jobs. I was doing, what do you call it, So there's no salons open anywhere in every state. So I was doing mobile. You girl knows how to hustle. I'm a hustler, okay? I am a hustle. I get it when I need to. And I don't do it the wrong way, but I'm very, I make sure I'm always good. Always good. So I made my own business. I didn't get an LLC. I was doing it starting out without doing no LLC first to get a feel of it. That's when the whole PPP loans were out, the SBA loans were out. Like, if I started my business a year prior, your girl would have been approved for that PPP loan. Your girl would have been approved for that SBA loan. But I am a staller. I'm a big procrastinator, and I need to work on that, because if I did those things ahead of time, I would have been even better now. But I can't turn back time, so it's like talking something you can't change. But I was doing mobile. My name for my business at first was Camille Monique's Beauty, because that's my name, Camille Monique. And I think it's really, it's really good when you keep your name in your business, because it just makes a lot more sense. But I personally don't like my name in my business. I didn't like it eventually, so I just ended up changing it. Then I changed to Money Styles, M-O-N-I Styles, like money styles, like money styles, like your hair looks like money, like it's always gonna look fly. So I changed it to Money Styles. That wore off for a few months. So I didn't really want to get an LLC until I officially was set in stone on a name. And so I was doing travel to people's houses. I was doing hair at people's house, things like that. Cause my mom was really strict with people in the house, especially with COVID. She did not want people in her house. She did not want to get sick. And keep in mind, my mom was in her 70s. She died this March of 2020, March 16th to be exact, about 2 to 3 weeks after my birthday. So she was in her 80s. I think she was 80 or 81 when she passed. So she was very, very, very scared of getting sick or getting anything. And at this time, she still had cancer stage 1, but it was like very dim, like nothing was wrong with her. She cut a piece of her breast off, and she was fine. But anyway, so I couldn't do anything in her house because she was so scared of people being around her. So I had to really make it on my own. And eventually I changed my business to Jevedy Beauty, Jevidyhairstudio, Jevedy Beauty. So the word Jevedy comes from longevity. I like my name because it means something. It means longevity, which I want to have longevity in this hair business. I want to have longevity in beauty. I want to have longevity with everything. So this word is really sentimental for me, because prior to me moving to Florida, I was on the phone with my mom, and my mom was a beautiful, smart, intelligent woman. She was a bookworm. She loved reading. She loved Scrabble. She loved anything to like make your brain work. She loved things like that. So she was the best one to call and ask for her opinion. And I like to do things without telling people until it's completed. So when I was asking a question about, you know, Mom, like, what's the best, I'm like, Mom, what are characteristics of a business that you love to support? Because she loves White Diamonds by Elizabeth Taylor. And that business has been in the game before I was even born, probably even before she was born. So I love companies that have value. You know, like, it's always best to have a company that you could stay in business for like years and years, not no 1 or 2, 3 years. Most businesses fail after 2 to 3 years. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going on strong. Like, I'm still in this baby, okay? So I'm not going nowhere. But when I was asking my mom, she's like, okay, well, businesses, I would love a business that has great quality, great customer service. She just said so many other things. And then she said longevity. It just clicked, like, longevity. I love that. Like, okay, longevity. So with my brain, I'm always thinking of new ideas. So I'm jotting it down. I'm like, longevity. Took out the long, kept the Jevedy. I didn't like how the Jevedy was spelled on its own, so I switched up 2 words. I switched up 2 letters, and boom, Jevedy. That's my business. I love it. And everyone else loves it, and it's my baby, and it's like, it's growing and growing every day. And I just love to know that where I came from to where I am now, it's like progress and it's consistency. And so that's another reason why I was off YouTube. I was so focused on building my brand that YouTube was like something, you know. But I actually love talking to you guys. Like, I'm not doing it just to do it. Like, I actually love doing videos. So with that being said, I was like, let me get back to YouTube because I love it. If you don't love something, don't do it. Please take that with that. please take what I'm saying, whether it's small or big. If you don't love it, don't do it, because you're gonna get burned out. You're gonna end up hating it. You're gonna end up stop doing it, and you're gonna end up just not doing it, period. You know. And so with YouTube, I actually started YouTube back in like 2014, 2015, with my butt always doing 1 or 2 videos a year. Like, what's gonna happen with 1 or 2 videos a year? Like, come on. Anyway, so basically I started for a long time ago, but I'm back and better than ever, and I hope you guys keep on watching because I want to have a lot more videos. But yeah, so that's what made me come back to Florida. Mainly COVID and my mother were the 2 main reasons why I moved back. Other than that, I probably would have still been in Texas, because honestly, I just started to like Texas. I actually love Texas. The guys, the girls, the people, everything was like great, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm back home. I'm still here. It's 2022. It is October. And if you guys don't know, I'm doing Oktoberfest of Vlogmas. Wow. I'm doing Vlogtober. And, oh my God, what's it called again? I'm doing Vlogtober and Oktoberfest. So you guys will be seeing some makeup ideas from me for Halloween, things like that. You guys will see me vlogging. You guys will see me doing things with my homegirls. You guys will see me doing this, getting back into the tube, doing mobile hairstyling. And I took a leap of faith and I started renting out a booth at a salon, which only lasted a month. Like, if you're gonna become a business owner, please let the person know that you're not doing good in business. Like, within a month, the whole salon closed down. I'm not gonna disclose their name because that's really messy. But it just showed me, and I'm glad that actually happened. You have to go through things to understand why things happen. I've never liked working for anybody. I've worked at Louis Vuitton. I worked at Papa John's when I was 16. I worked for call centers. I worked for Forever 21. I hated all my jobs. Okay, whether I hated them. That's how I knew in my blood I was an entrepreneur at heart. I don't like working for people, so I had no choice but to work for myself. And that's why when I did Lyft and Uber, it was the closest thing to independency I can get with business until I got my own business. So with that being said, it has encouraged me to get an actual suite. That's how I did the suite thing. Still not on YouTube, still not worried about YouTube. I was just so focused on getting my business up there. So I was posting a lot, doing pop-up shops, doing marketing, branding myself, picking my branding colors, which are, you know, purple, black, gold, and white. You know, picking a name, getting the website done. Like, I was so busy, so busy. So now that I'm settled into my name, I'm settled into my business, settled into everything else, everything is going as planned. But unfortunately, my mom passed. So I'm so happy I made that choice to move back April 2020. So that allowed me to be 2 years or a year and a few months left with my mom before she passed. I am still grieving, don't get me wrong. It's still very fresh. It's about 8 months only. I still love her. I still think about her. I still talk to her because it's very sad to lose a parent, let alone lose anybody. It's sad to lose anybody, let alone a parent. So I know she's looking down from heaven, seeing my accomplishment, my second apartment, working, just everything. Like, everything I'm doing, I know she's seeing, and she's seeing why I did it and why all that hard, long hours. I'll be in my room by myself, constantly on my laptop. My laptop was burned out from all the information I was retaining for my business. She didn't understand at the time, but now she does. So with that being said, that is basically why I was off YouTube for so long. I did a video within a year ago from this year, which is 2021, which was only one video. I'll link it right here. It was ASMR, I believe. Was it ASMR? I think it was a celebrity girl. It was a celebrity edition with my homegirl Renee. I'll link her name right here. And I think it was a there it is. I was a mukbang / celebrity girl. Let me look it up right now because Okay, so it was called a Smash or Pass Juicy Celebrity Edition Mukbang. That's what we did together. And that video was over a year ago. Okay, so I took a year. So prior to that, so my last video before that video was a Basic the Baddie, how to do Insta Baddie style makeup, which I'll post right here. That was 3 years ago. Then after that, I think I did my makeup thing, which is last year. So I took between 2 years to a year off of YouTube. Then I did this Smash or Pass video, which will be right here as well. That was a year ago as well. So your girl's not gonna do no more years. I have a tendency to do a year. I have a tendency to do a year gap. I'm not doing that. So if you guys want to check out all my other videos, I've posted a week ago. I've done my brunch with my homegirls. I did, this is on Vlogtober, I think day 5 or 6. Check out all my other videos, Vlogtober 1, 2, and 3, which will be linked here, 1, 2, and 3. And check those out. I'll be doing more videos very, very soon. So I'm glad you tuned in. You got a little more information on why I took a break for so freaking long. But I'm back and better than ever. Hope you guys love my hair. This is from, I believe, Amazon. And it was in a yellowish shade, which, girl, that wasn't given blonde, okay? It was given horsetail blonde. So I actually toned it down. If I can remember the recipe for that, I'll link it here or I'll link it here. But then I darkened my roots because I love a dark root because it gives me more of a realistic look. So hope you guys love this hair. I might be changing my hair very soon. I'm actually getting braids on the 26th of October for my homegirl. I haven't had braids in like a year. I'm so ready to give these wigs a break and get some braids in this hair, okay? But before that, I might do like ginger or red, or I might do blue. Who knows? Link down below. Let me know what color you think I should do. Okay, should I do red? Should I do ginger? Should I do black? Or should I do brown? Let me know, because I'm ready to change it up a little bit. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you tune into all my videos and click that bell button as well to stay updated with everything that's new. Follow me on all social medias as well. My freezer is turned on, so you can hear a little noise. That's the freezer. But anyway, make sure you follow me on all social media. I love you so much. And see you guys in another video. Bye.